Greetings all, and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. I think it's about time I owed you a... Well, it's not about time I owed you a video. I think I owe you a video. I haven't done a video for about a fortnight now. For those of you who don't know why, I've just started college. In the second week of it now. Slightly overwhelmed by the workload, but we are getting there. We've just literally had this game, myself and Q platooned. Q is in his brand new shiny OI Experimental. A line of tanks that I'm thinking of going down very soon. And I'm in the good old trusty reliable T67. Now we had a couple of stinkers of games. We had a stinker in an IS-8 game just before this one. And also a bit of a stinker in an E25 game. Basically got out of position and got owned. I just decided to go back to Old Faithful. Now this tank is a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. This is my... I don't use the term seal clubbing tank, but it's my tank that I go to when I'm having a pretty crappy game. Because if you do the basics right in this tank, it can be really, really good. It's got no armour, but it's got a very, very good... I think it's a 75mm gun. Is it 75? No, it's 76mm gun. It's basically the same gun that you get on the Shermans and things like that. It's your standard American 76mm gun. High rate of fire. Pretty okay alpha damage for this tier, and pretty good penetration. Penetration weighing in at 128, which for tier 5, when you're top tier like we are, no issue whatsoever. And this is a really good starting spot. For spotting tanks, scouting tanks, and really stealthy tank destroyers like this. Now, like I said, it's got no armour, so to balance that out, it's got mobility. Minus, well, a slightly negative factor to it as well is its open top turret. If you get hit with high explosive in this thing, you're pretty much going to die. But you've got a good high rate of fire gun. I currently have binos, optics, and rammer fitted to enable it for view range. If I sit still, I can pretty much achieve near enough maximum view range once I sit still for long enough. Now, a lot of people argue, why do you choose optics and binos? Well, this tank hasn't got fantastic base view range. I'm not 100% sure on the figures, but it's not much more than 350, and it's probably a little bit less than that. But since the new patch nerfs, and to be honest, I like that mobility on the move when I'm jinking around, and if I want to sit still, I can just sit still for a couple of seconds and just pop out that extra bit of view range with the binoculars. With the aiming time on this gun, I can't really justify using a enhanced gun lane drive, and to be honest with you, with the new mechanics with regards to camo and the lack of bushes in the game, I don't really need a camo net with this thing at the tiers we're facing. Majority of the enemy team are red players. They're probably not going to have 100% crews or the decent view range, and I just basically own them. That T67, really good point of killing him because he's one of the top players. He's basically doing what I'm doing. I'm sure that guy, looking at his statistics, has actually got higher tier tanks than tier 5, so he's come down and done what I'm doing, and I managed to take him out. And then he just basically whines about his team. Dude, if you come down to tier 5 at this time of night, this game is played at like 11 o'clock after I've done all my homework and stuff. So it's about 11 o'clock at night. You're not going to get experts at tier 5. Dip slightly low on that shot. If you want to shoot a Churchill 3, guys, shoot it in the turret. It has a very strong hull at tier 5. So you want to be shooting in the turret. And thankfully that first shot bounced, hit the lower glacis, or the glacis plates. But the one that went into the turret actually went in, so good point to note with that. Also, one thing to note with this tank as well, it's not a review of this tank, but it only carries 40 rounds of ammunition. I split it 25 AP, 15 armor piercing, APCR. The reason for this is sometimes you get into tier 7 games and you really want to be banging out the APCR if you're in tier 7 against tier 7 tanks, so that's my reasoning. I do end up cutting into that slightly now in this game because I kind of run out of ammo later, but managed to blast holes in the T34, no issue going through his upper glacis. And if you notice there, that guy could actually see me there, but he didn't have the view range. I was supposed to stop the video a bit earlier than that. This guy as well, SU-85, the tank isn't opaque, but I could still shoot him without getting spotted. That's due to his low view range and possibly with a low crew. But that T67 had no chance of seeing me because he was actually opaque. All I could see was his outline. Things to note, and I'm sat in the open here, and you'll notice my Sixth Sense icon shooting this Matilda does not go off. I do not get spotted while shooting these guys in the open. That Matilda did not have the view range to see me. That's where the kind of the limited pay to win aspects of World of Tanks come in, because I use gold to train 100% crews and stuff, so that's a little bit of the advantage of having that premium account and premium crew, if you like. Now you can attain crew at 100% through grinding means, I understand that, but I fast track my crews usually. I don't normally play tanks with less than 100% crew if I can help it. That's not an arrogance thing. Check me out how much money I've got. It's just that I don't really want to be at a disadvantage when I can not necessarily pay to win, but for me this is a hobby and I treat it as such, so I pay a little bit each month, the same as I would if I was buying games regularly. I haven't bought a new game for ages, but that's my justification. So yeah, pretty good game so far. I've got 5 kills, nearly 1.5 thousand damage, 1.5 thousand, 1500 damage, and at this point they start to cap, and I'm kind of getting a bit. That was a poorly aimed shot there from me. That was in the upper glacis. That was never going to penetrate. You want to be aiming either at the flat front or the lower glacis of the KV-1. Decided to take a little bit of a shot. I'm trying to hunt for the Top Gun medal here, but the amount of fire going into that guy, I'm never going to get it. So it's about time for Globbits to get his arse into gear and get another kill, really. This is the point where I'm typing. I could have put another couple of points into... There you go, lower glacis slot. Could have got a couple of points. Now I'm onto the APCR and I can pretty much auto-pen things. Ignore chat, please, guys. We did report this guy for being a tit. And this is where Q decides to try the OI Experimental's ramming potential. But you know what? I'm not having any of that new tank syndrome. I'm going to do some ramming on my own. Donk. Is that wise in a T67? Oh, hell no. Let's have a look at the post-game stats, guys. GG. Okay, going to use this end plate or post-game stat screen to mention one thing. If you've watched this far into the video, you must be interested in the channel. If you want to join the Globbs clan, if you haven't already or whatever else, I will no longer be accepting random invites. What this means is if you apply to the clan, I would like you to contact me in-game or email me. The email address is in the video description below here. I will no longer be accepting invites or applications to the clan from people I haven't had no personal correspondence with. No other reason than I want to try and control the guys that are coming into the clan, because we have at the moment only 54 active players out of 92. Out of the rest of them, none of them have played a game in the last 28 days. So I'm going to start issuing the kickbat, start kicking people from the clan that have not been active for 28 days, unless obviously they're guys. Don't worry, guys, those of you who've been with me since the start, I know some of you have got commitments and everything, but if you haven't played a game within 28 days, you know Used2ism can replace you with somebody that's actually going to contribute to the clan, because it's becoming a bit of a clicky sort of, we've only got like certain people that come on TeamSpeak. But it is what it is. So let's go back to the game plate then. Victory, Mastery Badge, no issue there at all, to be honest with you, this tank. Bruiser, Demolition Expert, 5 for effect. High Caliber, Top Gun managed to get 6 kills. Pretty much did damage to the majority of the enemy team. If I wasn't damaging them, I was spotting them, being as efficient as I could, as it were. Managed to net myself 5,439 experience on a ×3, guys, so don't get your knickers in a twist. Managed to get 40,000 credits from a tier 5 machine. Again, ×3. But let's not get too irate about it. Managed to do quite a bit of damage to the... I know you can't see that. Let me just expand the screen slightly. 81 damage to him. 884. Do the maths. 220. 80 damage to him. Spotted quite a lot of stuff here. Consider him in a tank destroyer. T34. Yeah, it did approximately, I would say, let's have a look. Damage on spotting. So look at the detailed report. Spotting damage, we managed to do 895, not bad. 1820 total out of 20 shots fired. 33 shots fired, sorry, 20 pens. 20 hits and 18 pens. God, it's been a while since I've done a video. Things to add though, half of this damage is done at over 300 meters. Pretty accurate gun on the T67, guys. If you're new to the game, get yourself up the American Tank Destroyer line. So the turreted tank destroyers, especially things like the T40. T40 is pretty of a sweet spot at tier 4. And this one's even more rewarding sometimes. I only got 1 hit back, did a little bit of damage to me. Spotted 6 vehicles, you can see all the damage there, that's all good. Team score then, this is where I truly do shine, if I don't mind saying so myself. I'll double any experience of anybody on the friendly team. Q, in his defence, kind of went up the hill, and nobody went up with him. What I mean nobody went up with him, none of the enemy team went there. And this is the problem with things like heavy tanks like the OI Experimental on a map like Malinovka. We said it before the game that he was going to have an issue, and he went hill. The thing is, though, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because the time you don't go to the hill is the time when every single bugger on the enemy team goes up there, and we just get ruffle stomped. So it is what it is. yeah, I enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the video yourselves, guys, and I will try and make videos a little bit more regularly. I'm not going to make any promises. I'm just going to do this once I finish my homework on a Friday afternoon or Friday evening. I'm going to bang out a video if I've managed to play, but I am only playing in the region of 2 to 3 games a night. Some of that is split between warships and tanks, so I am doing my best. If any of you are new to the channel, I've had a lot of subs. Appreciate you subbing. I'll try my best. There's about 400 videos of backlog for you to watch. I'd like an opinion from people though. I want to see in the comments. This is one thing I want to see, how many people watched to the end of the video. I want you to leave in the comments how you think my videos have progressed from my previous iterations back in the day, about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, compared to now. How have they improved? Do you like them? Etc, etc, etc. So that's just a little question just to see if people are actually watching to the end of the videos and they watch the endgame plate chat, if you like. Alright, take care of yourselves, guys, and I will catch you next time. Hopefully, not 2 weeks away. Take care of yourselves. Bye now.